just overlook me. Yeah, if things don't pan out, keep it cooking. You're not a fan, but you keep on looking. Look, don't be concerned with what people saying. Be concerned when they don't care to say it. Funny how people will act like they know you, but they don't even got a clue what they're saying.
Yeah, soldiers, it's Brandon State's Country video, and this is What If Deku Had Gambit's Powers, Part 6. The most popular MHA series is back, and I guess ready for some action. No, not that action, perverts. I hope you guys enjoy this part, as this will cover the USJR. This should be really fun. Couple things first. On Friday, I released the second part of the 2K special, What If I Was in Naruto. Hope you guys enjoyed that, as it got a very interesting premise there. Well, in my humble opinion, of course. Yesterday was the debut episode of my podcast. I hope you guys check it out. It's kind of lit. Also, remember to check out the first part of 2K Special, How to Rate Material. Alright, now for some quick social media plugs. Twitter is @MSH4. This is a great way for you guys to interact with me, as I do tweet a lot. It also acts as another way for you guys to know when I'm posting a vid, in case you can't get it from Discord or YouTube. Especially YouTube. We are also close to 100 followers on there, so let's get there. Next, follow me on Instagram, anime_stage4. I post there very frequently, and we have a decent following there. It also is another great way for you guys to interact with me, so please follow me on there. Lastly, go join my Discord. It contains sneak peeks at supplementary content and notifications of when I live stream ahead of time. It is also a great way for you guys to interact with me, so please join Discord. Links to all those will be in the social media section of the description. Now, for usual checklist. If you haven't seen the last part, link is in the description. If you haven't seen the series at all, check out the playlist. Follow out of the way, let's get right into the story. So just like in canon, a pearl pops out and Kurogi and the League of Villains appear. And the same thing happens like in canon, everybody separate into groups just like in canon. Everybody will remain in same groups like in canon, except since Kendo is there, Deku, Siyu, and Kendo are, well, in a group instead of Mineta. So that could be pretty interesting. This means we're about to highlight 3 major characters here. Well, actually, more so, we're highlighting a ladies man in Gambit Deku, and 2 ladies that are going to kind of blush at his antics. Because even though Deku's already, you know, off the market, that doesn't mean he doesn't know how to swing a lady's heart, well, accidentally, you know what I'm saying? The group takes care of their villains like in canon, however, there are kind of a couple differences here. One is that they do it a lot more quickly and efficiently, because Deku is very powerful, since he has the powers of a guy who can turn playing cards into explosive, someone whose own powers make him alpha level immune, and his Death Seed form will make him even more ridiculous, so much so that he could be around, well I'm not going to, pretty powerful. He's really powerful. You could even argue he could be multiversal with Death Seed form. That's how crazy Gambit is. Yeah. He can even be an Omega level immune if he wanted to, but, you know, Gambit's, well, alpha level at this point. There's also Kendo, so she's going to be a bit more useful here than Mineta. The gang then have to make a plan to get over there. Well, over to where Shigaraki and the League of Villains are. Deku says he can carry both of the girls with his quirk. Also, quick note, I'm making Deku a bit taller here. According to his height in the Wikipedia fan series, he's like 5'5". Now, you can have a growth spurt probably during his time at UA, and I had to tell myself I had near like 5'9", and I believe I was like 5'6" or 5'7" when I was in my freshman high school days. But I think we can all agree that if we want Deku to be a full-on ladies man, we're going to have to make it a little bit taller. So due to his quirk, to make up for his peak physical condition, he has to also have an increase in height. Well, also in weight, but that's kind of expected. Not like pound, like fat weight, but like you just as you're taller, you have a bit of weight to you. I'm gonna make him the same height as Bakugo, which is around 5'9". Well, technically it's 5'8" and 3/4, but he'll probably take that as like 5'9", just like all of us guys would. And again, this makes sense because his quirk would probably have to make up for him giving him peak physical condition, so he'd have to be a bit taller. So there's also the fact that he has been trained for a while, and he probably has been given the same diet Enko gave him, which was, there's nothing wrong with it. There's like a fish dinner and stuff like that, and like traditional Japanese stuff, like Japanese cuisine and stuff like that, and it looked pretty good. I would eat that. I've been to a couple. I would probably eat that as well. It's a pretty good diet, actually. So therefore, Deku being taller here makes sense. On to the main subject. Anyways, Deku carries the 2 girls on his back, and they're kind of blushing around him, because even if Deku is already taken, again, he's a ladies man, and he already is a pretty good looking guy in their eyes. He's been a kind of a gentleman towards them, but it's just because he's Deku. But, you know, they can't really do anything with him except blush, because he's already off the market, you know what I'm saying? So Deku then asks both girls to launch him, and then uses his bow like a launcher, and is able to launch over and carry both the girls to where Shigaraki and the Nomu are. Halfway before they're about to crash, well, land or whatever. Deku tells Suyu and Kendo that they have to get off because Deku would probably want to roll when he hits the ground, and I don't think he wants to face villains on broken legs because there would probably be like, because I don't think the quirk would allow him to land properly, you know what I'm saying, or be able to use his legs as a cushion. So Deku tells them when they get close to the ground to jump off. Suyu and Kendo comply with this order, and they're able to get a bit close, and when they're about to get close to the ground, they jump off. Suyu would probably roll, and she's probably going to be fine since, again, her frog-like abilities, while Kendo just uses her giant hands as a cushion. Overall, they're both fine. Deku's able to roll and save his legs from certain doom, and comes to face with Shigaraki and Nomu. Deku calls out to both Suyu and Kendo and asks if they are both okay. Both answer since they aren't that far away, and Deku asks them to help the other students. Both wonder if Deku has lost his mind, but Deku wants to figure out if Mo is okay, as well as other friends, you know, like Kirishima, and even Bakugo, maybe. Well, even Bakugo, I guess. Well, whatever. Deku decides to fight against the Nomu. Deku fires a bunch of cards to Nomu, and they explode on contact. However, when the smoke clears, the Nomu is unscathed. The Nomu might have taken a little bitty bit of damage, but nothing too major because he has the shock system. Deku then thinks to himself that that's now time for some close combat, so he tries to strike a Nomu with a charged bow. Nomu is pushed back, but it looks like he hasn't taken much damage. Nomu then tries to strike, but Deku just jumps back and is able to get away from Nomu's attack. This is again because Deku was taking martial arts, because Gambit was a very expert martial artist. Deku then wonders why his attacks aren't doing that much to it. Shigaraki then decides to mock Deku and then explains why his attacks are useless. Deku hearing this discusses that this is more of like an artificial human, but has now been twisted by the League of Villains into like this bird-brained abomination. Deku then wonders what he is going to do. Then on cue, Kirishima, Kendo, Bakugo, and Todoroki arrive. So yeah, Kendo was able to grab the group, and since Kirishima has one for all in this one, they're able to handle business a lot more quicker than the original canon, and Kendo just brought him over there. So, you know, that's pretty cool. Deku is able to see some of his friends and classmates, and of course Bakugo. They're alright, but he's still worried about Momo. Deku and Kirishima then decide to team up as they're good friends. Since what if they both try to strike at the Nomu from different standpoints in an attempt to damage the thing. As Deku did explain to Kirishima, this thing's abilities thus far. The Nomu is slowly taking some form of damage, but it's not enough, and again, most of the damage is from Deku. Deku and Kirishima need to think of something. Deku then theorizes if they can strike with extremely powerful attack, then they can eviscerate the Nomu. They both take this to heart. Deku charges up before Molecular Smash, enhancing with a bit more power as well. Meanwhile, Kirishima decides to use his patented Red Riot Smash, and it was both his idol and and of course All Might. Deku and Kirishima then charge at him with those attacks, and Nomu takes these attacks at full force. Kirishima has taken damage to his arm, but it's not a severe amount like Deku would because he's a bit more controlled. However, the smoke clears and Nomu is still alive. Deku has also taken damage to his arm, but has another Molecular Smash ready to go. They are both shocked that Nomu is still standing. However, they both notice Nomu is kind of groaning, and it seems like they got a victory. They have given Nomu a decent amount of damage. Shigaraki is shocked that both these students gave his Nomu that much damage. It wasn't enough to destroy the Nomu, but still, they were that powerful even as students, and they gave him that much damage. He considers that they could be both massive threats in a couple of years, and that they should be dealt with right away. However, just when he's about to give the orders to the Nomu to destroy them, All Might appears. All Might sees both his successor and the one who recommended his successor are both injured in their arms. Shigaraki then says that those brats are extremely tough, and they even did a decent amount of damage to the Nomu. However, just because they weaken it does not mean All Might will survive. All Might has a bit of a happy moment that they did so well against these villains, but tells someone to get both of them out of there. Kendo volunteers, and then Momo actually conveniently appears. Momo takes Deku, while Kendo takes Kirishima. What? I have to make the ship stronger. Also, since Deku has been with Momo, she should at least be a bit stronger. Also, Suyu is out, just replaced Shiro and Denki, since Momo kind of cares about her boyfriend, you know what I'm saying? So when Suyu would just tell that to help Deku in more selfless act, and Momo's kind of grateful for that, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like Momo just like went out there by herself. Suyu kind of volunteered to help out Shiro and Denki. There's a nice moment between both of them. I mean, Momo and Deku have a bit of a good couples moment and Deku's happy that Momo's okay. And then Kendo calls Kirishima really cool, and it kind of makes Kirishima a bit embarrassed, but also happy at the same time that someone thinks he's cool. He has had All Might and Deku both acknowledge him, and now this cute girl has acknowledged him. His life right now is kind of a far cry from his more middle school days. And All Might then battles against Nomu, but because of the work of Kirishima and Deku, he can use a little less effort. let's just say it's a drop around, let's say 10 to 15% if we're talking about effort percentages. This means that he has used a lot of effort, and he probably will go over his limits, but it is possible One For All stays with him a little bit longer. Or One For All's fires become so dim All Might still has to retire, so who knows. All Might will still take Kuronoma here. Kurogiri will try to portal crap, but instead of Deku trying to stop Kurogiri, it's Kirishima using full cal 5% to get there, and is going to use his left hand for the punching. Just when his face is about to be decayed by Shigaraki, a card cuts into Shigaraki's wrist, and Shigaraki takes his hand away and cries out recognizing the card, since it was from Deku, and is very annoyed by him. How Deku threw the card was he would use his injured right hand to aim and throw the card. Then a bullet strikes Shigaraki's hand, and the heroes have arrived. Just like in canon, the League of Villains are able to escape, and everybody's now safe. Deku street for his injured right arm, as well as Kirishima. Momo's with Deku in one room in the hospital, while All Might is in the same room with Kirishima. Deku then decides to visit them, and, well, All Might shows his pride for the boys, and that he is proud of them. He also makes the same declaration like in canon that Class 1A will all be great heroes. Deku then sees Kendo, and decides to tell Kirishima his girl is here. And then Kirishima blushes, but decides to go up to her while in his cast. Then Kendo sees him, and she just hugs him. It's a nice and beautiful moment. Deku just smiles and decides to walk away. Now, how will the sports festival go? Well, I got bad news for you guys. You're gonna have to find out in the next part. Thank you all for watching part 6 of What If Deku Had Gambit's Powers. The series is fun to write, and I hope I can deliver more parts to you guys. Again, this is probably from one of my favorite X-Men of all time. Remember, Friday is What If I Was in Naruto, so stay tuned for that. Also, make sure to vote on new ideas for the community tab, which could be interesting for you all. Also, comment down below which topics you want to hear from me talk about on the podcast, as well as comment new what if ideas that I can then put to a poll so you can still, vote on the community tab. These topics range from news about anime to actual discussions, so yeah, that should be fun. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and join my server. Friendly reminder there. And now, I guess that's all I have to say. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and share the video. This has been your boy, the Anime Sage, signing out. Peace, YEEHAW. Bye-bye.